So good morning, children. So yesterday I have completed sixth point, all right, and I gave you the notes of the measures to control or to correct the adverse balance of payment. Okay. Now today I am going to give you the another 3 points which are little long, but you need to understand it properly. Okay, and these are also used to correct the adverse balance of payment. Like 7th point is monetary policy, 8th point is fiscal policy, 9th point is capital import. Now you need to understand the monetary policy. We have completed money chapter, all right. So we have studied the supply of money, all right, and in that we have studied that the money, the total money supply in the country is actually controlled by the Reserve Bank of the country. Is it clear? Because we know that if there will be an excess of supply of money in the market, then it will increase the demand of the people. All right. And if demand of the people will increase, then it will create inflationary situation in the country. And we have studied that if there is an inflationary situation in the country, then that is one of the cause of adverse balance of payment. Is it clear? So now we are going to study now what is monetary policy. The policy which is used by the central bank, all right, to control the total volume of credit. Total volume of credit means to control the total supply of money in an economy during a given period of time is called monetary policy. Monetary, so means from money. Monetary means the policy which was started or which was used by, and who uses, because who is the highest authority of the country in financial zone? That is the central bank. So the policy which is used by central bank to control the total money supply in the economy is called monetary policy. Is it clear? I hope you people have understood the meaning of monetary policy. Monetary policy is the policy which is used by the central bank to control the total volume of credit. Volume of credit or supply of money is the same thing. To control the total volume of credit or supply of money in a given period of time is called monetary policy. Is it clear? Then how monetary policy can be used to control adverse balance of payment? How monetary policy can be used to correct the disequilibrium in the balance of payment? That we need to study here. So all of you open your book, page number 277. Now just see once in your book and try to understand the language of the book. A tight monetary policy was effectively used to reduce expenditure and thereby correct deficit in the balance of payment. Yes. Obviously, now see, as I told you that monetary policy is the policy implemented by the central bank to control the total supply of money or to control the total volume of credit in the economy. Then if central bank uses a monetary policy and it will reduce the total supply of money in the market, then people will have less money with them. And people will have less money with them means they will reduce their consumption. If consumption will be less, then their demand will be less. And if they will demand less, then government will have more stock of goods which the government can use it for exporting more to the other country. And their import will also fall. So, if expenditure will fall, children, one thing you understand that if expenditure is fall means that aggregate demand is actually falling. And if aggregate demand will fall, then the government will have a good stock of good amount of stock of goods will be available with the country, which the country can use for more and more export, which will help to correct the adverse balance of payment. Now see, this will save the next point. The central bank can reduce the volume of credit. Now how the central bank will reduce the volume of credit? Okay, so method of credit control is left, children, in the bank, that I will do it just after this chapter. Okay, how the government control the volume of credit? It will use bank rate. It will use this open market operation. It will use cash reserve ratio. All right, I told you we have done the credit creation policy. And I told you that credit creation policy is restricted by the government by using bank rate. What is bank rate? The rate at which central bank gives loan to the commercial bank. If central bank will give less loan to the commercial bank, then commercial bank will give less loan to the people. and people will not get the loan. So what will happen? Their demand will be restricted. Then if central bank will increase the cash reserve ratio, then commercial bank will able to create less credit. We have done the credit creation process of the commercial bank. And what actually limits the credit creation process of the commercial bank is cash reserve ratio. From the primary deposit, a certain amount is kept by the commercial bank as reserved, which central bank cannot use it for giving loan. So if the central bank will increase that cash reserve ratio, how much credit will be created by commercial bank? Less. So what will be the supply of money? Will be less. Is it clear? So that's what I was telling you people, that monetary policy. Okay, so now you try to understand that what the central bank does. Central bank uses its instruments. What are the instruments? Bank rate, open market operation, and cash reserve ratio. It raises the bank rate, it increases the cash reserve ratio, it sells more attractive bonds in the market, so that people, in place of buying goods from the market, they will buy that shares which is issued by the central bank. Okay, so what will happen, that this will reduce the total consumption expenditure of the individuals and will reduce the demand of the people. और जब demand कम होगी तो automatically क्या होगा कि import कम हो जाएगा और export क्या हो जाएगा? बढ़ जाएगा. अगर डिमांड कम होगी तो जो भी कंट्री प्रोड्यूस कर रही है वही सफिशिएंट होगा टू फुलफिल द नीड्स ऑफ द पीपल. Not only that, the government will able to save the additional amount of goods which the government can use it for exporting to the other countries, and means it will increase the export and it will decrease the import and will help to correct the disequilibrium in the balance of payment. Okay, now see all of in the book, the central bank can reduce the volume of credit by raising the bank rate, by selling the approved securities in the open market, and by raising cash reserve ratio. If the bank rate is increased, the commercial bank will increase their lending rates. Yes, अगर बैंक रेट बढ़ जाएगा, मतलब बैंक रेट वो रेट होता है जिससे कमर्शियल बैंक सेंट्रल बैंक से लोन लेती है. अगर कमर्शियल बैंक सेंट्रल बैंक से लोन ले रही है ज्यादा रेट में, तो डेफिनेटली कमर्शियल बैंक लोगों को किस रेट में लोन देगी? ज्यादा रेट में. तो इससे क्या होगा, अगर सेंट्रल बैंक बैंक रेट को बढ़ा देती है तो कमर्शियल बैंक अपनी लैंडिंग रेट, अपना लोन के rate of interest को बढ़ा देगी. That's what it is mentioned. Now see, if the bank rate is increased, the commercial bank will increase their lending rate. As a result, borrowings from the bank will decrease. An increase in cash reserve ratio and the selling of government securities as part of open market operation will reduce the availability of bank credit. An increase in the interest and decrease in the availability of bank credit will lead to fall in consumption and investment expenditure, as it becomes more expensive to borrow money due to increase in interest rate and the availability of credit decreases. Producers will borrow less and undertake less investment. As decrease in investment will lead to decrease in income and fall in import, and thereby correction in the balance of payment. Okay? So I think you people have understood here that monetary policy is also one of the measure which is being used by the government to correct disequilibrium in the balance of payment. First thing. Second thing, the central bank can reduce the total quantity of money supply by increasing the bank rate, by increasing the cash reserve ratio, and by selling the securities in the open market operation. An increase in bank rate, an increase in cash reserve ratio, selling of securities in the open market will reduce, what it will do, will increase the rate of interest. Is it clear? In the of the loan. Then the producers will take less loan as well as the consumers will take less loan, and there will be less consumption expenditure and there will be less investment expenditure. अब जब इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोड्यूसर्स की कम होगी तो प्रोडक्शन कम होगी. प्रोडक्शन कम होने से क्या होगा? लोगों की इनकम कम होगी. ये चीज हमेशा याद रखना, हायर द प्रोडक्शन हायर द इनकम, लेसर द प्रोडक्शन लेसर द इनकम. So if producers will undertake less investment, so there will be a less income. And less income always leads to fall in import and increase in export, and will help to correct the adverse balance of payment. I hope you people have understood the monetary policy. Second is fiscal policy. Fiscal policy you will understand when we'll do the public finance chapter. After this chapter, I'll complete the quantitative credit control policy of central bank. Then I'll start the public finance. Okay. So you need to understand the fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the policy which is used by the government to raise the rate of economic development. It is an economic policy. Fiscal policy is actually the economic policy of the government. All right, and it uses its instrument. Fiscal policy has its instrument. One of the instrument of fiscal policy is taxation, is public expenditure, is public debt. These are public revenue, public expenditure, public debt are the three instruments with which the government uses under the fiscal policy to raise the rate of economic development in the country. Is it clear? Now, try to understand one thing. Taxes can directly control the demand of the people. If government will increase the direct taxes, then it will directly affect the income of the people. Higher the rate of direct taxes means higher the taxes imposed on the income of the people. So government is taking more taxes from the income of the people. So it will reduce the income of the people. If income will be less, then there will be a less demand, which will reduce the import and which will increase the export and will thereby help to control the adverse balance of payment. Is it clear? Then the 9th point is capital import. The last option which is left by the government to correct adverse balance of payment is capital import. Capital import means taking more and more loans from the foreign countries, so that government will able to correct the adverse balance of payment. Okay, so I think you people have understood all the other 3 points. Now write on the notes. Yesterday I gave you the notes till the 6th point, that is production of import substitute. Today write down the 7th point, that is monetary policy. Okay, write down monetary policy. Under monetary policy you write, monetary policy is one of the most effective measure to correct adverse balance of payment. Full stop. Then change the paragraph. Then write, the central bank uses monetary policy to control the total quantity of money supply, This is the main line you're writing. Central bank uses the monetary policy to control the total quantity of money supply by raising bank rate, by selling the securities in the open market, and by raising cash reserve ratio. Full stop. Then write, change the paragraph. Third fact, if bank rate and cash reserve ratio will be raised, then borrowing from the bank will become very expensive. And consequently, producers will borrow less from the bank and will undertake less investment. And consequently, producers will borrow less from the bank and undertake less investment. Full stop. Then write, a decrease in investment will lead to decrease in income. A decrease in investment will lead to a decrease in income and fall in import. And rise in export, which lead to correction of adverse balance of payment. Full stop. This much you people have to write under the monetary policy, children. Now write on the 8th point, that is fiscal policy. Right. Under this you write, a restrictive fiscal policy can also be used by the government. A restrictive fiscal policy can also be used by the government can also be used by the government to correct adverse balance of payment. Full stop. Then write, government uses its instruments of fiscal policy. Government uses its instruments of fiscal policy like taxation, public expenditure and public borrowing to control the adverse balance of payment. Full stop. Then, fourth fact. Fourth point, write down. If government increase the taxes, if government increase the taxes and decrease its government expenditure, then जब भी गवर्नमेंट टैक्सेस बढ़ा देगी और अपनी एक्सपेंडिचर को कम कर देगी तो डेफिनेटली लोगों की डिमांड क्या हो जाएगी, कम हो जाएगी. So that's what you're writing. If government increase the taxes and decrease its government expenditure, then this will lead to reduction in consumption and a decrease in import thereby. A decrease in import thereby. Full stop. Change the paragraph again. Government will also decrease its transfer payments. Government will also decrease its transfer payments like old age, pension, unemployment allowances, etc. of the lower income group people, which will also reduce their demand. Consequently, import will fall. Full stop. Then write, change the paragraph. Hence, a sound fiscal policy is another method to correct adverse balance of payment. Okay. Now the ninth point, the last point, write down. That is capital import. Right. A deficit in the balance of payment can be corrected in the short run. It is not a solution of the deficit in the balance of payment in the long run. Capital import is the solution of the correction of adverse balance of payment in the short run. So write down, deficit in the adverse balance of payment can be corrected in the short run by borrowing loans from the individuals and government of other countries, as well as by borrowing from international financial institutions like World Bank, IMF, etc. Is it clear? So we have completed the balance of payment, children. Okay, we have completed the balance of payment. Now next I am going to start the other part of the balance of payment. As I told you, balance of payment has two topics. The full name is balance of payment and exchange rate. Okay, so now I am going to start with the other part of the chapter, balance of payment, which is called exchange rate. All right, so write down the next heading, foreign exchange rate. Foreign exchange rate. Now, what do you mean by exchange rate? And it is foreign exchange rate. So it's a simple phenomena. So we are doing international trade concept, balance of payment or foreign exchange rate. तो इसमें हम क्या डिस्कस करते हैं कि कंट्री की करेंसी, the rate at which the value of country's currency is exchanged with the currency of other country. Is it clear? जैसे हम लोग यहाँ पे डिटरमाइन करते हैं कि इंडियन रुपी डॉलर से किस रेट में एक्सचेंज होगी, या इंडियन रुपी पाउंड स्टर्लिंग से किस रेट में एक्सचेंज होगी, इंडियन रुपी येन से किस रेट में एक्सचेंज होगी. मीन्स अंडर द फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रेट वी आर डिटरमाइनिंग द रेट ऑफ कंट्रीज करेंसी which is being exchanged with the other the currency of other country. That we decide under the exchange rate. Is it clear to all of you? So write down foreign exchange rate. Okay, under foreign exchange rate you write down the meaning of exchange rate. So write down the heading meaning. Foreign exchange rate, first heading write meaning. Okay, write down the meaning. The rate at which the currencies of different countries are exchanged with each other. The rate at which the currencies of different countries are exchanged with each other is called foreign exchange rate. Foreign exchange rate. Is it clear? So, what is the meaning of foreign exchange rate? The rate at which the currencies of different countries are exchanged with each other is called foreign exchange rate. Full stop. This is the meaning. Then write down next types. Types. Under types you write exchange rate system is of two types. This here it is very important. Next heading write types, and under types you write exchange rate system is of two types, and then give a dash and write down number 1 fixed exchange rate system, and number 2 flexible exchange rate system, and number 2 flexible exchange rate system. Is it clear? Now I'll leave the video till here only today, because if it will be too much if I'll explain. Okay, so if I'll try, tomorrow is a Sunday, so maybe I'll upload one more video tomorrow, children. So please see the video tomorrow also, because I think we need to complete the syllabus within December. Okay, so I think 2 videos more, then I'll complete this balance of payment chapter, and then I will start, I'll complete your bank, that is credit control policy of the central bank, that was remaining, so that I will complete, and then I'll start your public finance. Okay, and then I'll go with the 2 more chapter of micro. So total your chapters which is left is 2 chapters of public finance and cost and revenue and market, 3 chapters of micro. So 3 plus 2, 5 chapters more are left. Okay, so I will try to complete within I told you first week of January till 5th or 6th of January your economics syllabus, also your commerce syllabus I will try to complete. All right children, so for today only this much. Thank you children.